my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please help me by subscribing. Click the subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell icon. It's gonna notify you whenever I post a new video. Thank you so much. My name is Fatima Zara Ahmad, also known as Zara Unscripted. So yeah, on this clip I'm gonna be sharing my everyday routine as a mom caring for two special needs children. Like I said in the previous video when I did an introductory video, I am a mom who has 3 beautiful children, and the last 2 of them happen to be children living with different disabilities. My 5-year-old is my who has cerebral palsy, and then I have a 1-year, 8-month-old baby girl who has Down syndrome. So basically I'm sharing my daily routine with you guys will make you see that I have a beautiful life. You know, like I get questions, people ask me a lot of questions like, how do you cope? Do you even live? Are you even happy? Like, how do you manage? And I'm like, oh my goodness, I cope very much okay. I live my life, I am happy. You know why? Because I wouldn't even want any other life other than the life I have right now. I would never have asked for anything different. This is the life that was carved out for me, and I am happy, and I would do it over and over and over again. I would choose this life 1,000,000 times over if I had to. So yeah, people get to ask me a lot of questions. You know, I do live a happy life. I am an entrepreneur actually, and if I tell you I have so many certificates, it's gonna be funny, but like, you know, I'm a certified mixologist. I make mocktails, like that's the halal version of cocktails. I make mocktails. I'm certified. I'm a certified lay counselor. I am a self-taught skincare, hair care product. What do you call it? There's a word you call it. Formulator. I formulate all these things. Yeah, so basically I live a fulfilled life. Kano Bayero University, Kano, I have a degree. I have other various certificates, like I have a certificate in computer studies. I have a certificate in higher professional diploma in computer studies, and I also have a Cisco software, hardware, whatever. I can't remember the name of the certificate, but I do. And I speak a little bit of Japanese on the basic level. Hi, onegaishimasu, daijoubu. Thank you. I do speak a little bit of Japanese, though it's a little bit rough because it's been how many years now? It's been 10 years that I had to learn how to speak basic Japanese language, because I lived in Japan for 2 years when I got married, and that was like 12 years back. And so I really don't practice much, so I have missed out on a lot of my Japanese language skills. Sometimes we actually do speak with my husband, but he is more like he knows how to speak it more than I do anyway, because he lived in Japan for 7 years, I did for 2 years. So yeah, basically I have a fun life. I am an entrepreneur. Like I said, I make gifts. I curate hampers, like it's Ramadan hamper, end of the year season hampers, you know, whatever, you know, personalized gifts. I make birthday gifts, souvenirs, you name it, anything you want, I am up to the task. So in this video I'm going to be sharing tips with you, interesting clips, how my daily routine goes about. I wake up in the morning. My son takes his drugs as early as 8 a.m. in the morning, and he takes his last dose 8 p.m. at night, so like it's a 12-hourly span. And so that is how I start my day, by giving my son his drugs. And you know, I make a cup of tea for myself. I eat my breakfast because I am a tea person. I love my tea. I don't compromise on my tea. The clip will be there. And then you're gonna be seeing how we went out with hubby. Yes, my biggest support system is my hubby, and I'm gonna be sharing a clip with you guys where we went out and he actually bought me these babies. Yeah, and the tripod I'm using to hold my phone is an octopus tripod actually. And we went out and we got these things because you know, when you're blogging you need to upgrade. Virtually you have to keep upgrading, and I am new here, so my videos are a little bit rusty, but I am sure with time, I'm a fast learner, with time I'm gonna keep up and my videos are going to look more professional with time. Yeah, I got myself a microphone, I got myself an octopus tripod. I have a ring light. As you can see, I've had my ring light for almost a year now. When I started blogging, actually I am also a blogger, so you can check my page on Instagram. I'm gonna be leaving the link on the description box down here. It's actually at Zara Unscripted on Instagram, where I share a lot about my journey caring for my 2 special needs children. Now, I do get a lot of questions from people how my son came about having cerebral palsy. So it's kind of like a long story, but I'm gonna be like cutting them in bits and pieces. I will have a whole video where I share that story with you guys. So basically, when I was about to give birth while I was in labor with my son, I remember my doctor came in and he was asking me some questions. He was like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you describe the pain you're feeling? And I said to him, I was like up on the scale, should be like number 6 for me. And he was like, oh wow, that's too much for one person to be. And I was just like 4 cm dilated. And he was like, okay, he's gonna do something about it. He's gonna give me something for the pain. And he didn't tell me what he was gonna give me for the pain actually. And I remember I was just laying there and I was having all my labor pains and everything, and he came in and he opened my cannula line, and I remember he was holding an injection and he just pushed everything in, and that's the last thing I remember. That was the last thing I could remember, because I was knocked out completely. And he left, he went back to his office, and they were not monitoring the baby's heartbeat, and eventually my baby got distressed and then he flat out in my tummy, and nobody knew up until when I started pushing while I was still sedated. I was heavily sedated, and then my sister had to run out to call the doctor and the nurses, and they rushed me to the delivery room, and my baby came out. It was a normal delivery actually. I pushed my baby myself. I was very weak. I didn't know what was going on because I was sedated. I was half asleep, half awake, and that was what happened. And my baby came out flat. And unfortunately for me, because we are living in a third world country, you could imagine my frustration. Like, I paid a lot of money to be like taken care of in a private hospital, but unfortunately the hospital didn't have an in-house pediatrician. Oh my goodness, can you beat that? And then my baby came in flat with a lot of complications, and there wasn't any pediatrician on ground. And that was the beginning of my son's disaster, because it was a disaster. And I remember, because at that time I was like gradually coming awake, and I started asking them a lot of questions. Is my baby okay? Is my baby dead? Is he breathing? Is he okay? Why is he not crying? I had a lot of questions I was asking, and nobody was answering my questions. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what's wrong with my baby? Someone should talk to me. What's wrong with my baby? And I could see the doctor. He was panicking. He was freaking out. And they were performing CPR, and they were actually pumping in oxygen to him. And my son had a lot of fluid. He drank a lot of amniotic fluid, and they were doing the suction. You know, they held him upside down. They were hitting his bum. It was a terrible experience actually, and I couldn't do anything. I was just lying down there. I was weak. I was emotional. I was crying. I had mixed emotions. I didn't know, was I supposed to be happy? Was I supposed to be sad? You know, it was a terrible experience. Honestly, nobody should go through that kind of experience, but life happens, and life happened to me. And so it took them a while actually to resuscitate my baby, but he came through. And after coming through, I thought that was it. I thought he was out of the woods, but that was even the beginning of his problems. He started convulsing, you know, he was crying, and then he was convulsing. His brain was frying up, you know, he was sweating. We didn't know that he was actually burning from the inside out. You know, it was a whole lot for that poor baby to take it. It was a whole lot. And the doctor was so freaking out. He called the pediatrician on phone, and she was guiding him on phone on what to do. You know, it's terrible when you are in a third world country and you're experiencing horror happening to your child, and there's absolutely nothing you can do. Like, I know that's something that is liable to suing, right? Yeah, suing is the best option actually. Yeah, but anyway, Sha, that's by the way. And so my son actually was stabilized. He had a lot of injections that were pumped into his system. They sedated him, they aborted the seizure, and that was the beginning, you know. And unfortunately for us, they didn't even tell us that he was going to have some brain complications, that he has a brain damage, and nobody told us. So we spent 1 week in the hospital and we got discharged, and we came back home. And I think 2 months later, I noticed that my son's cranials actually have sutured prematurely. Like, for those of you that don't know the medical term cranial, the bones on top of the head, you know, they sutured prematurely, and there wasn't any room enough for his brain to grow, and so he started having serious issues with convulsions, seizures, you know. And that was the beginning of our journey, going to the hospital, you know, running around, finding answers, what was going on with our son. And that was when we knew that he has brain damage, and it was a severe kind of brain damage. And yeah, this is 5 years down the drain, and we are doing fine. We are rocking life. Actually, it's been 2 years since he last had a seizure, because we actually went for a stem cell therapy for him. We had to travel to Cairo for that. Yeah, so it's stem cell therapy is actually kind of like a stem cell transplant, but this is like a therapy. So, what it means is that therapy is something you're supposed to be doing continually, like maybe every year, if you can be able to afford it, because it's quite expensive actually. So you have to be doing it yearly. It's something that you have to, that's why it's called a therapy. So it's something that you have to keep up with, you have to keep doing it. And so yeah, he has been stable now. And yeah, so on this clip, actually that's a short story. I'm gonna be recording a longer version of the story, the whole story about what exactly happened with my son during birth and how he is right now. And you're going to be seeing a whole lot of videos of my children. I will be flooding your timeline with my kids, because I adore my children. They make my life happy. Thank you so much, guys, for staying this long. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and press the bell icon so you can always get notified when I upload a new video. Thank you for having you guys here, and thank you for staying this long to watch my stories and see the beautiful life I have with my kids. And I hope to see you on my next video. Bye!